Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are talking about Chanel foundations. I can't believe I haven't done this before on my channel, but we're gonna go ahead and just break down every single foundation that I own from Chanel. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As many of you know, I now have my online beauty consulting service, which is a great opportunity for you to talk to me one-on-one. So if you want to go over your current makeup kit, or if you're looking for some advice about purchasing something new without the sales pressure, you can go ahead and book an appointment right now in the link down below. And there's also some gift cards available, so if you want to purchase this gift for someone else. And before we go any further, usually for Chanel foundations, I am a B30, a beige 30, or a medium. That's typically my shade range. But if you have any particular questions, just leave them in the comment section down below. All right, so for the video, I am just gonna walk through and talk through all of the Chanel foundations that I have here. Now, I've never done this on my channel. I've ranked my eyeshadow palettes. It was a collab with Michelle Wong. I've also ranked all of my blushes. So the concept here for today is just the foundations. And I don't think that I've originated this concept here. I think Erin Nicole TV, Abby Bliss White, and also Angela Van Rose have also done videos similar to this. And I just want to give them credit where credit is due. So what I will do is, I don't think I'm going to do like a pure ranking video. I mean, I guess I kind of will, but the thing is, all of the foundations here, there is not one that I completely dislike and never use. I'm pretty picky when it comes to actually purchasing products, which may be shocking because I do have a beauty channel, so I do buy a lot more than the average consumer, but there's nothing here that's terrible. I'm gonna talk through them, what works, what doesn't work for me, that sort of thing. Now, on the Chanel Canada site at the moment, there are in fact 15 foundation products available. I do not have 15, but I do have quite a bit. So I think we'll start with my least used, which would be the CC cream actually. So this only comes with 4 shades available, and I usually wear the 30 beige. I would be shocked if this does not get reformulated in the near future. As far as I remember, the CC creams constantly get reformulated. So if you see a new reformulation of this one here very soon, don't be surprised. What's remarkable about this is that this has an SPF of 50, which is pretty high for a complexion product. Usually you see 15, maybe 20. But this is a 50. And I remember when I was still working at the Chanel counter, this was a product that was explained to us for a very outdoorsy type of client, athletic, or someone who likes really minimal makeup, because you can reapply your SPF 50 with some coverage, with blemish control and all that. But I have to say that an SPF in a makeup product will never give you the same protection as an SPF separately, because the amount of product that you use to cover up imperfections is really minimal compared to how much actual SPF you need. So this is supposed to unify the skin, moisturize the skin as well, correct and protect with the SPF, and also boost the glow. This is a pretty dewy finish, and it's sort of a thick liquid onto a cream. It isn't very runny. There definitely have been versions of this that have been much thicker in consistency. It has a bit of a scent. It reminds me of the Hydra Beauty line, a little bit fruity. And the reason I don't really reach for this is that it's very, very sheer. I find that it covers a bit, but it's very, very luminous and dewy, but without adding enough coverage for me. This is really, I don't know. I somehow also find it like a little bit thick on me. I have other products here that are super lightweight and sheer, but somehow feel more natural on me. This is, I think if you have like more mature, dry, dehydrated skin, you might like this. And as long as you also really want something very natural, very lightweight, the CC cream might be for you. If you're someone who likes to go to the beach or who's very outdoorsy and you want to reapply SPF, but you want to reapply a little bit of coverage at the same time, like this is not a tinted SPF. It's a CC cream with lots of SPF, so you could use it for that purpose. But for me, I don't know, I just have other products that are very lightweight and dewy that just, I don't know, I prefer more. So I guess that is the one complexion item that I have from Chanel that I'm not a huge fan of. But everything else that I'm going to mention here, I actually quite enjoy. It just depends on my mood. So the next one would be the Vitalumière. This is the Radiant Moisture Rich Fluid Foundation. This was just newly reformulated. Here they took out the SPF, and I did a video recently breaking this down thoroughly. So if you want to go watch that, I will leave a link in the description box down below. This is a medium coverage foundation that has a liquid formula, and it's supposed to give you up to 8 hours of nonstop hydration. So I did a wear test. It's supposed to be 8 hours of comfort and hydration, all that. I did in fact do a wear test, and it does live up to those claims. This foundation is so luminous and dewy. I think it is the most dewy and luminous foundation from Chanel that I own. If you have very mature, dry, dehydrated skin, this is for you. If you have oily skin, you may want to powder this down a lot because it's just so luminous. It looks so healthy, and it offers a nice light to medium coverage. You can easily build this up to medium, but most Chanel foundations lean more towards light and you can be sheared out, but you could definitely build this up to something more medium. The one issue that I've experienced with this foundation is the shade range is really abysmal. So here in Canada, we have 10 shades to choose from, and with the reformulation in the US, currently, or last time I checked, there were 3 shades to choose from, which is like pretty wild. But if you really enjoy a satiny, luminous finish, and let me tell you, the satiny, luminous, dewy finish does not dissipate. You know, you might think, oh, as the day goes on, it'll dry down. No, it stays like that all day. So you really have to want that sort of finish. I think it's great for winter because it is very moisturizing. On a counter note, if you want something much more sheer but just as moisturizing, the CC cream might be for you. But the CC cream, the texture feels thicker, not as liquidy, and it doesn't cover as much. So it just depends on your mood and your need. But I quite enjoy the Vitalumière. I just hope that they extend the shade range. Now moving on to a foundation that's probably just as luminous and dewy as the Vitalumière. It's the original Sublimage Lite foundation. This is the one that comes in a jar, and this is a thicker cream consistency. This is the Ultimate Radiance Generating Cream Foundation. So this is part of the Sublimage skincare line, which is like the top of the top as far as Chanel skincare goes, and it has a pretty hefty price tag. So here in Canada, this is $190 Canadian plus tax. The other foundations tend to be $60, $75 in that ballpark. And then, you know, because this has some Sublimage skincare ingredients, it's much more expensive. This has a lovely scent. It smells like the Sublimage skincare line, which is a slight vanilla scent. This is a thick cream consistency, but it blends really nicely. It's supposed to give you up to 12 hours of hydration with intense illumination, and the complexion is supposed to be even and radiant with vitality. I have to say, it's a really lovely foundation. You really do get all day radiance, glow, just like beautiful, healthy looking, very dewy skin. This is supposed to be a light to medium coverage, but For me, I find this is closer to light. You're not going to get that much coverage. For some reason, I still prefer this so much more than the CC cream. Something about the formula I find, not only does it hydrate and make you look luminous, but it also makes you look so healthy at the same time. And I do lean towards light to medium coverage foundations. So even though this has a crazy price tag and is definitely lighter, I think it's so beautiful, and it makes your skin look so healthy and so radiant and just so healthy. I don't know what else to say. It's a really beautiful complexion. Of course, it does claim to have a blend of the ingredients from the Sublimage skincare line. So theoretically, if you were to use only this day after day, you would see like an improvement in your skin texture and vitality and all that. But even just as a foundation, I think it's actually really lovely. I don't mind that it doesn't cover that much because I think the finish is really nice. And also the brush that it comes with is fantastic. It comes with its own little foundation brush, which I've used a lot. The bristles are coming off a little bit. It's a few years old, but you get a foundation brush when you purchase the foundation, and it's a great applicator. It really just diffuses the color very seamlessly. All right, since we're talking about Sublimage, let's talk about the other foundation here. This is the Sublimage L'Essence de Teint. This is a serum foundation. So when you pump it out, this here comes in a jar that you pump instead of a glass jar that you scoop out. This is very runny. It's a serum foundation, so it's more liquidy. This is supposed to be a radiance generating foundation, and this one is 210 Canadian plus tax. So again, it's supposed to have a composition of skincare benefits found in the Sublimage skincare line. This is very fluid, very runny, and it has the same signature vanilla scent. This I find offers more coverage than the original Sublimage foundation. You definitely hit more of a matte finish with this, and you will also get a finish that's a little bit more of a soft matte. The original Sublimage in the jar is so luminous and dewy and just glowing all day, whereas this one here, it does have, like, it's not going to be a hard matte that looks cakey and drying, but it's going to be more of a soft, slightly velvety matte. You're not going to look incredibly luminous all day, but you will still look and feel hydrated. You're just not going to have lots of glow and shine. It's going to be very beautiful. I think like a soft, luminous, velvety matte is probably where it finishes, and you get more coverage. This foundation also comes with its own little brush. It is in the shape like this. So it's supposed to be domed, like a point up here, so you can spot correct, and then you can just blend it out to apply. I like this foundation brush, but I don't love it as much as this one here. This one is my favorite. I need to get another one, but yeah, it looks like it's losing some spikes here, but I find this one is just the best one. It just diffuses so quickly. This one I think is fine for a foundation brush. It just isn't the shape that I would normally go for. I find that the bristles are a little bit too dense. I kind of wish it was a little bit more sparse, or just like a little bit fluffier, just to diffuse more lightly and evenly. That being said, it is always nice to get a little extra brush or something with a purchase, especially from Chanel. But if I were to travel, I would probably take the serum foundation with me instead of the original jar foundation of the Sublimage line, simply because I love the finish of the original jar foundation, but it's a little bit of a pain. You have like a little spatula to scoop out the product and then you blend it out. I find that a pump is just a little bit easier and quicker to apply. So if I were to travel, hopefully in the future, I would take this with me here. Next up, we have the Ultra Le Teint Velvet. This is a ultra light and long-wear formula, blurring matte finish, perfect natural complexion. So this one here has a pretty liquidy finish here. It isn't quite as runny as the serum, but it is very liquidy. It's not cream or thick. And almost all of these Chanel foundations have a slight fragrance or a scent. They smell like Hydra Beauty, which is like that light peachy melon scent, but I find that their scent and foundation fades away. Like you might notice it if you smell it directly, but when you wear it, you don't notice it. Again, you're going to hit the light to medium, but I think you're closer to a medium with this one here. And what's interesting is that this one here is described as matte, which at first I was really put off by because I have dry, dehydrated skin. I tend to avoid anything matte because it looks dry and cakey on me. But this is a soft velvet matte finish. It's not going to pull the moisture from your skin. It's going to have a very soft, almost powdery velvet finish. It's described as ultra light, ultra matte, and ultra natural. I don't think this is ultra matte. Like I said, it's a soft velvety finish, but it is very natural and also pretty light. But the formula feels light, like the liquid feels light, but you can definitely get a closer matte finish with this. I think if you have normal to oily combination skin or even just oily skin, you would love this foundation here. But even like dry, mature skin might also enjoy it because it has that soft matte velvet finish. So it's not going to be overly luminous and dewy, which makes it look a little bit more natural. I know that sometimes like a very luminous, dewy finish looks very healthy, but also sometimes you can kind of tell that someone has makeup because of how glowing it is, whereas this one here is pretty natural. I also find that this foundation has a pretty nice longevity, maybe like 8 hours of wear. Like it's not going to last you 24 hours, but just like a normal day of work or living, it's going to stay in place. If you live in a warmer, more humid climate, but you also want more coverage, this Ultra Le Teint Velvet would be for you. Oftentimes, warmer, humid climate, summer months, makeup companies tend to come out with like really sheer, lightweight products, but sometimes you want more coverage. This one would be nice because of that soft velvet, according to them, ultra matte finish. It isn't going to enhance any of your natural oils and shine, so this would be good for that type of climate. Now we have the Vitalumière Aqua, which is different than the Vitalumière that we talked about in the beginning. So this is a super lightweight, runny, watery foundation. When you pour this out, it pours like drops of water, and you have to be careful because you can make a mess if you just like let it roll off your hand. It really is incredibly liquidy. This is a ultra light skin perfecting makeup. So this will be like your skin but better. Again, this has the same sort of scent. Yeah, definitely your skin but better in the more light coverage family as well. This formula really melts into the skin and just becomes like second skin. It's going to offer some radiance and some glow, but it's going to be really natural. It's probably the most natural skin-like foundation that we're talking about today. I mean, all Chanel foundations are great and very natural, but this is the one that really just like melts into your skin and just becomes one and unifies your skin in a very light, natural way. You do get a nice, healthy glow, but you almost get this very, very slight powdery finish. It doesn't look dry or cakey, but there's something about like, I think there's mineral powders in the foundation and they're a little bit light reflecting, so it gives you that beautiful, natural, very natural light glow. It's a beautiful foundation. So if you want something for warmer months, this is what I like to wear in the summer because it is very much like second skin and lightweight, but it's very, very sheer. You know, you're not gonna get a medium coverage. If you want more coverage, I would say like spot correct with some concealer and powder as well. But it is a very beautiful foundation, and I know that this is a lot of people's holy grail foundation for a reason. Next up, we have the Le Beige Healthy Glow Long Wearing and Hydrating Foundation. This was reformulated last year. This is also a pretty liquidy foundation. It is going to run a little bit. This is a very natural looking foundation. It does have some of the similar components to the Vitalumière Aqua, but the Le Beige is definitely going to be more covering. It's going to offer more coverage. It's going to just be a bit more substantial. This is very much your skin, but better. And what's really great about this foundation here is that it offers a nice longevity. It's somehow long wearing and also hydrating at the same time. It has a nice natural subtle glow. It's not going to be like a disco ball glowing, but it offers a really lovely natural radiance that somehow lasts all day. And I know that the reformulation has put off some people because this here is going to give you that hydration and that little glow all day long. So if you're looking for something that's a bit more mattifying and going to control the oils a bit more, this may not be for you. But if you want something very lightweight, second skin, natural, that's going to give you just a hint of glow, this one's for you. This one also has some light reflecting powders, which is where you get that very natural glow without looking dewy. It's just very naturally luminous. Also, the Le Beige shade range is very inclusive. It's very easy to find your shade. Some of these have a pretty good shade range and some of them really don't. I think the Vitalumière, the one that we talked in the beginning, has the worst one, but the other foundations have a better shade range to choose from. Now moving on to the Water Fresh tint, which was part of a Le Beige collection a few years ago. This one is basically water with some little baubles of pigments. So when you pour it out in the pump here, you see it runs like a liquid. And if you see close up, you can actually see that the pigments are suspended in this jelly water. And so you have to break up the pigments here and then you can apply it onto your skin. This one also comes with a brush that I'll show you in a second. And when you break it up, it looks kind of crazy for a second, like it looks like it's not going to come together, but you just have to keep mixing it. You can either break it up on the back of your hand and then apply it with a brush, or I sometimes will just take the product and apply it like this, and it just sort of magically transforms on your skin. This is probably one of the most unique complexion products on the market. I've never seen any other brand recreate it in any fashion. I think it's truly remarkable. It looks and feels like a glass of water for your skin. As you can still see, it looks like droplets of water on the back of my hand. It's lightweight, it's hydrating, and it instantly refreshes your skin and complexion. So I like to use this as a foundation, but I use the term foundation very loosely here because it's going to be incredibly lightweight. It offers like a blurring veil of coverage. Somehow the droplets of pigments and the water mix together and just give a very soft, sheer blur. It evens out a little bit of discoloration and any sort of redness. It just evens out the complexion in a very natural way. You can do a couple of pumps. I can do like maybe 2 or 3 pumps if I want to. It's still going to be very light. Like you cannot build this up to a solid medium. What you can do is you can use this as a primer. You could use 1 layer of this and then go into something a bit more heavy duty that offers a bit more coverage. If you just want to add essentially water and hydration to your skin, it's truly just so remarkable. Feels and looks exactly like your skin, but better. I would say that it's more natural looking and natural feeling than the Vitalumière Aqua. I think that the Water Fresh tint is the most natural looking, natural feeling complexion item that I have. It is your skin, but better. It is second skin. You never feel or look like you have makeup on. This foundation also comes with its own little brush here. This is a mini size of one of the full-size foundation brushes. So what you can do is you can take the product, break it down like this, and then apply. I don't mind the brush. I don't love it. I find that the bristles are too dense. I like a foundation brush where the bristles are a bit looser and not as densely packed, because when they're looser, I find you just have a quicker application and a nicer blur. So again, with the Water Fresh Tint, I go in with my original Sublimage foundation brush. I've repurchased this at least twice, and I'm on my way to repurchase it again. As you can see, I keep using it a lot. I wear this all year round. It's great in the summer when it's very hot and you're sweating and you don't want to feel like you have anything on your skin. This is really great for that. But also in the winter when it's really dry out and your skin looks and feels parched, this is great to just give you that glass of water for your skin. So overall, just a great product. And last but not least, we have an item here that was also reformulated very recently. This is the Ultra Le Teint Fluid Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Foundation. So this here is also quite liquidy, although clearly less liquidy than the Water Fresh Tint. I guess it's somewhere between a thick liquid and a cream. So this foundation here, you can definitely get a nice light to medium coverage. I would say that the Ultra Le Teint and the Sublimage Serum foundations offer me the most coverage. Like if I want a nice medium coverage foundation, I go with these two here. This is supposed to be ultra long wear, comfort, and a natural finish flawless foundation. It's supposed to provide you up to 24 hours of comfort and wear. Spoiler alert, my wear test was 8 hours, I believe. It's supposed to even out the complexion, help keep shine under control, perfect the skin with a luminous matte finish. I think all of that is true. I tend to get a little bit shiny on my forehead here at the end of the day, and there was a little bit of that. I think if you have combination skin or oilier skin, you may want to add a bit of powder where you can sort of have a bit more oil. But the soft matte finish, it's like a soft velvety luminous finish. It's not drying, it's not cakey. Of course, it has that signature scent of white peach and melon. It's pretty resistant to mask wearing, to heat and sweat. It's a pretty robust foundation. If you need like a good workhorse everyday foundation for work, for life, for whatever, this is great. It's going to last you all day. It's going to offer a nice amount of coverage, but it's not going to be too drying. So I think this could actually help a lot of different skin types. Like if you have normal to dry, normal to oily combination. You know, if you have oilier skin, you just want to set with some powder or a mattifying spray. If you have more mature or dry skin, you could just go in with a little bit of the Water Fresh Tint to give you a little bit more hydration. But as far as I'm concerned, the Ultra Le Teint is just like a really good workhorse everyday, like your signature foundation, because it just does what you need. It offers coverage, it lasts all day, and this one also has a pretty great shade range. So it doesn't really matter where you fit on the color spectrum, you're going to have some shades for you. All right, guys, this is my roundup of my Chanel foundations. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I hope this helped shed some light on these foundations here. I hope it gave you some clarity on what to buy or what not to buy. Leave a comment, let us know what is your holy grail Chanel foundation. Which one have you repurchased the most? And which one was your favorite that they discontinued? Because I think that's Chanel's #1 hobby, is to discontinue and reformulate. Let me know what you think. If you're new to my channel, or if you've been watching me for some time but just haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Like, leave a comment, subscribe. Those are all great ways to support me here on my channel. And for anyone who's been a fan of my beauty history series, stay tuned later today. There's going to be an announcement. Okay guys, I think this is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.